It's time for the MMA-Holes!
From the contest studios of Arizona, we're live with the MMA-Holes!
Wonderful.
Welcome to the MMA-Holes. My name is Mystic Moss, King of the Dragons. I got my fancy beater on. How's everyone doing today on a Monday? Hopefully you're wonderful.
Wonderful.
We got a brilliant show planned for you tonight as we discuss the latest in combat sports news. The UFC, Jon Jones, in trouble again. Yeah, Jon Jones is in trouble again. We'll talk about that. Nate Diaz is suing Fanmio, George Masvidal, Nate Diaz, the boxing match, the rematch. Nate didn't get paid, so we'll talk about that. We'll talk about UFC Denver, the upcoming events, and all things combat sports. How you guys doing? Hopefully you're well. We have a promo code for this company right over here. Their name is mybookie.ag. The promo code is MMAHOLES for a 10% match on your first deposit. My unders were hidden on Saturday, except for Tracy Cortez. Yeah.
This is number one bullshit.
Bad pick by me, bad pick. But overall, I did pretty good on the night. So if you want to go on over to my bookie, place your bets for all things combat sports, excuse me, or in any sport out there, NHL, MLB, NBA, NFL, when that comes back around, go over to mybookie.ag. Use promo code MMAHOLES. Dubby, there's a link in the description, or you go over to Dubby's website and use the promo code MMAHOLES for 10% off. This one may not be around much longer, so you better get that Dubby discount. Thank you to everyone that uses our code in the description down below for ESPN Plus. You can watch all of the UFC events with our code down below, and we get a little bit of kickback. All right, so I got the beater on. How's everyone doing? Hopefully all is well, right? Like I said before, Jon Jones, things aren't very well with him, but what are you going to do, right? Johnny Bones Jones, always in trouble. After a couple of months, there's like a timer that goes off. It says, hey, it's time to talk about Jon Jones going to jail or being a bad boy, you know. And once again, we have some more Jon Jones news. Let me know in the chat if you heard about this, but today we find out that Johnny Bones Jones faces 2 misdemeanors. Okay, a misdemeanor charge is related to a drug testing agent police officer after visiting his home to collect a sample on March 30th. You guys remember that? March 30th, there were 2 USADA peeps that showed up, and they're like, yo, give me some of that piss. Jon Jones like, I don't got any of that piss for you. And then they said, yo, John, can you give me a blood test? He's like, yo, it's a birthday party, and I was napping. Like, that's exactly what happened. Jon Jones says, I'm napping, and it's a birthday. He's at a birthday party. He's napping at a birthday party. Okay, if convicted of both charges, he could get less than a year in jail and fines up to $1,500. Now, Jon Jones did release a video after they claimed that he was a little aggressive with them, and it looked pretty buddy-buddy. The video didn't look bad at all, actually. Like he was just kind of escorting out the young lady and man, and everyone looked happy. The girl high-fived John. Maybe she's like, ha, 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 and then left. I don't know. So we're going to see how this thing plays out. But the thing that is attached to this is Jon Jones is supposed to be fighting in November. He's supposed to be fighting against Stipe Miocic, Madison Square Garden, talking about that. But we get these cryptic tweets, and let me see if the tweets are still even up. Jon Jones, the other day, right before this news drops, John Boney on X. Let's see if he deleted them. He deleted them. They're gone.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Oh, boy. Hey, let's see if I can find him here. Yeah, so his last X post was the Cybertruck that he got his hands on. But, yeah, Jon Jones had these crazy tweets about his finger getting chopped off or something. Let me see if I can find it here. I mean, you just... Oh, here's the video. Here, check this out if you missed it. Here's the video of, Jon Jones. And I'm a big fan of innocent until proven guilty. I understand we could all shit on Jon, right? Or anyone that keeps on getting in trouble. But still, at the end of the day, I always like to give people the benefit of the doubt. Now, when it comes to Jon, well, it's tough to give him the benefit of the doubt because he's always in trouble. Like, I mean, he's constantly hit and running pregnant women. So there they go. His shirtless Jon. Okay, here, hold on. Let's rewind this. Here comes shirtless Jon. And they're throwing something out. The girl is high-fiving him, which is weird. Okay. It doesn't look very hostile. He fist bumps the guy. It seems like they leave pretty cordial. So when the news dropped originally, I was like, you know what? It seems fine. Like, everything seems cool. Like, I don't understand. Like, maybe this was a little embellished because people thought of maybe he got a little agitated and they just made up some story. Who the hell knows? Or maybe he did get agitated and say, hey, man, I'm having a bad day. I'm sleeping at a birthday party.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Leave me alone. And then all of a sudden he's like, all right, I'm sorry, guys. I don't know what happened. But the lady's saying like she feared for her life. And, I don't know. It's just there's something missing from this story. There's something just not right from this story. So we'll let this go, through the process. We'll see if he comes out unscathed, which I'm thinking he's going to. I have a feeling, listen, this guy's probably got some pretty damn good lawyers. This is not his first rodeo with the law and trouble and whatever. So I would imagine nothing's going to come of this. But if he is found guilty, jail time, most likely out of the UFC event in November. And who knows if he's even out, if he ever comes back at all. I mean, Jon Jones is what, 34, if I'm guessing? I can't remember how old Jon is, but around 34 years of age or something like that. Let me know the age in the chat. I'm getting kind of sick of talking about this. I'm getting kind of sick of talking about Jon Jones constantly in trouble. Now, let me see if I can find those tweets, those weird-ass tweets that he was throwing out there. That weird thing. Oh, here we go. Okay, here I found it. That weird situation, like I have this that popped up on Jon Jones. Check this out. This is Jon Jones actually saying something to someone in his DMs. Check this out.
Well, how much you call an elite compared to you? I have multimillionaire friends, several billionaire friends in the highest branches of the military. Meanwhile, you make 3D designs. You have no followers, probably still trying to pay off your house. Willing to bet you live in an apartment. But yeah, let's make fun of me. I got a domestic violence charge about 4 years ago now. Maybe even 5 years ago. Meanwhile, I've made close to 20 million since then. My wife is still with me. Fuck the shit out of me every night. My life is Gucci.
This is actually Jon Jones, what he said in the DM. We just happened to have him read it for us. But listen to this part over here.
5 years ago. Meanwhile, I've made close to 20 million since then. My wife is still with me. Fuck the shit out of me every night.
My wife is still with me. F the shit out of me every night. Like this is like him flexing in the DMs to somebody. Like it's. Listen, we know this guy's got demons and he's got problems. I also know that he could actually be a good guy too, right? Because we've had people on the show, friends of the show, who trained with him or were really good friends with Jon Jones. And even in private, talking about him or on air, would say nothing but good things, saying the guy is a great guy. It's like a Jekyll and Hyde situation. I think once he gets a hold of substance, it brings out that inner demon, and that's no excuse, because I am a firm believer of when you use drugs or use alcohol to try to cover your problems and then a real asshole appears from that substance, there's no excuse. I've made mistakes under the influence before and try to blame it on that, and then looking back, I'm like, no, I was wrong. And I think that's where Jon's got to be, man. This dude needs to be clean. He needs to remove himself from the substance and get real help. It's a damn shame because this guy has all the tools to be, I mean, he already is very special when it comes to the UFC. He has all the tools. And it just seems like he just keeps on effing shit up. Now, like I said before, innocent until proven guilty. I'm pretty sure I know where the chat's going to go with this. But let me know what you think about Jon Jones. I mean, here's the messages that he sent right before this news dropped. Do not call me. Do not come my hand.
Wonderful, wonderful.
I'm not making that up. It really says, do not come my hand. Not come in my hand or on my hand. Do not come my hand. At Big 7, stop before it starts. No. Like these weird-ass messages that have just vanished. This is not a sober man. You know, this is not like Ryan. I mean, Ryan Garcia is not sober either. This is a man that needs help. We got our first dono coming in from Chubbs82.
Now Dana White is going to go home, slap his wife, get arrested just so he can get fucked in the ass by Jon Jones in jail.
I mean, it's pretty comical, right? And thank you so much for the $2. Listen, hefty donos tonight. We open up the phone lines instantly, just like that. But thank you so much, Chubbs. You hear Dana White waxing poetically about Jon Jones. You know, we made some jokes about him. You know, the first thing he does when he wakes up, he rolls over, whispers in his wife's ears and say, hey, Jon Jones is the greatest of all time. He goes on a podcast. They could be talking about, who knows, church. And Dana White would be like, oh, you know, Jesus is cool and everything, but did you know that Jon Jones is the greatest of all time? You know, he could be making dinner, flipping burgers. Hey, honey, get the kids together. I got something to tell them. They all gather outside on the porch. And John and Dana's like, okay, now make sure you're paying attention. Jon Jones is the greatest of all time. I don't think we've heard much from Dana White after this situation. And like I said, innocent until proven guilty. I don't want to stone the man to death. But listen, this is a man who is guilty of, you know, smacking around his wife, the hit and run with the pregnant lady. We can make a million excuses for him, but it's just like over and over and over again. Hopefully, this is people trying to make some money off of Jon and try to drag his name through the mud. But I don't know if I can get with that. I mean, why are these messages popping up on his social media? Like the dude, something's off. Something's not right.
Wonderful, wonderful.
We got Chubbs back to back.
Jon Jones doesn't get the benefit of the doubt. He beat his baby mama bloody in front of his kids to the point where they went for help.
Not wrong. Not wrong. Didn't she have like a bloody nose? The kids were calling the cops. Now apparently she has forgiven him and taken him back, and she fucks and sucks him.
About 4 years ago now, maybe even 5 years ago. Meanwhile, I've made close to 20 million since then. My wife is still with me. Fuck the shit out of me every night.
I mean, fucks the shit out of him every night. I mean, she forgave him and gives him the nook.
My life is Gucci. Telling my buddy Jeff to shush probably wasn't a good idea. It's not that hard to find you.
It's not that hard to find you. Now he's threatening to hunt someone down.
He's got a penis down there, and I like what I see.
Jesse, what are you looking at?
He's got a penis down there, and I like what I see.
Let's get the mysticals in the chat. Pale Monkey coming in.
He's got a penis down there, and I like what I see.
The 750.
He's got a penis down there, and I like what I see. Pee-pee.
Thank you, Pale. Thank you. Beautiful song. Not played enough.
If you tell your wife to make dinner and she gets in the shower, does that mean it's seafood for dinner?
Whoa!
Wonderful, wonderful.
Thank you, Pale, for the 750. Thank you. Great question. I don't know. I think the answer is yes. So, okay, I was boobies. Let's see. Here's a meme that popped up. You're next. I'm moving to heavyweight. I want Jones next. I'm not fighting unless the UFC gives me $20 million. I deserve the title shot. That title shot. My fight with Stipe would be my last. So, people are goofing on Jon Jones. I say, I hate to say this because when Jon Jones fights, it's a big deal, right? The lead up is a pretty big deal. Actually watching him compete is something special. It's a shame that everything attached to Jon Jones has to be all this drama and nonsense because he's fun to watch fight. I really enjoy watching Jon compete. But with that being said, I mean, I'm thinking maybe we're doing Blades and maybe we're doing Aspinall for the undisputed belt. Enough with this interim stuff. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess if he's innocent in this situation, then the UFC doesn't give. I mean, it's about money, right? They're going to Madison Square Garden. They want Jon Jones there. So I'm going to make a prediction and then move on. Johnny Bones Jones will be innocent. Nothing's going to come of this. Money will be thrown around, and those USADA people will just go away. And that's it. That's the guess right there. That's it. I mean, there's really, I don't know. Does anyone think differently? Does anyone think he's going to get locked up? I mean, I feel like, this story is big because, it's Jon Jones and, he's in trouble again. But it is old news when you think about when he was accused of this. And now here we are. He's going to, go through the system and see what happens. And you know what's going to happen. Right? I mean, if he, I don't think he's doing any jail time for this. Especially when you see the video and they look very cordial. I don't know what's going to pop up. Do the USADA people, were they recording him inside? Is there a video of him being violent in any way? I mean, if they have something like that, maybe they got something on him. But lawyers are taking this case, and I'm thinking the only reason why they're taking this case is because Jon has a checkered past. That's the only thing I could think of. But I don't know. I don't think they have any hard evidence on the guy. And if he is innocent in this situation, I will say this. They're all jokes, man. I like to make some jokes here. What you did in the past was kind of sketch and sus, and smacking around a woman is retarded. I can't get behind that. But in this situation, hey, man, if you're innocent, then we move on. But yeah, let me know in the chat what you guys think. KC coming in, I see it over there, has gifted a membership, and Sean Hart got the membership. Let's go, baby. Come on, let's go. Thank you, KC. Very kind of KC. For gifting the membership.
KC, the member gifter. KC loves gifting the members. Members, please
get on the knees
and satisfy KC and hit him with a.
By the way, I listened to the Eminem album. Put aside the political things and all that nonsense circling Eminem. I listened to his album today, and it's very good. Like, you got to check it out. If you like the old Slim Shady stuff, you got to check it out. It was pretty damn good. I was like, well, damn, man, there's not much bad in that album. So go check it out for yourself if you're into that kind of stuff. Thank you, Casey. Appreciate that. All right, chat, what do you think? Jon Jones, is he going to jail? Yes or no? And then we're going to move on to the Nate Diaz portion of the show. We got a lot of stuff to talk about.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Hey, optimistically cynical.
I can forgive beating his wife in front of his kids because it humanized him.
It's so freaking weird, man. Why do these women take these guys back? I know people that forgive things that you're like, how can you forgive that? And it's mostly women. Most of the guys are like, yeah, fuck this, I'm out of here. And some guys are just weird. They're like, well, I can't get laid, so I'm just going to forgive this girl for everything. I don't know what it is. But I don't get it, man. I don't understand how your fucking husband could beat you up or your fiance or whatever, and you're like, I forgive you. You just had a bad night. Like, it's fucking crazy. Even if you had kids together, it's the weirdest shit. So, listen. I guess they're meant for each other, right? Thank you, Pale Monkey. Hello. Optimistically cynical. Appreciate that. And I'm sorry for not getting dressed up for you guys, but, considering we're talking about Jon Jones, I figured I'd wear a wife beater. You know what I'm saying?
Wonderful, wonderful.
I don't know if anyone got that joke earlier, but that's why I'm wearing this. So I slapped around Jesse before the stream, but I don't understand it. Like, and I guess it's like cuckery. It's like whatever goes on behind the closed doors of these people in these relationships, whether it's watching your wife get plowed by another man, or beating the shit out of your wife or whatever it is, and they take him back. I mean, I guess if that's what they want, maybe we shouldn't even criticize them for it. I don't know. Like, it feels like they're just destined to be tortured. I have no idea. So maybe what we should do is just say, all right, well, that's what they want. She took him back. I mean, it's not like, I don't know. Maybe do we keep on razzing Jon Jones for this stuff? I have no idea. She's back with him, So, I don't know. I don't think that she's just like, oh my God, I have to stay with this guy. Like there's something going on there. She's a freaking head case. I guess I have no idea.
Wonderful.
Chubbs 82.
You want to know the kind of people that grew up to try and shoot at the president? People with parents like Jon Jones and his wife.
So yeah, I looked at that kid. So subscribe to our second channel, Gummy Gang. I listen. I understand people don't like politics. Well, some do, right? But I think I'm gonna dive into the shooting on the second channel with the Trump thing. I think I'm gonna analyze all the theories and watch the videos and get high and talk to you guys about that. So one's in the chat if you're gonna hop on over to the Gummy Gang. One of these nights in the next, within this week, we'll probably be live over there talking about that stuff and breaking it down in a horrible way. But that kid, man, 20-year-old kid sitting on the roof, picking off the former president, or trying at least. No Secret Service got to him before he shot. Like, it's just, dude, it's weird, man. That whole situation is fucking crazy. JL, thank you. 13 months as a member. Everyone give a round of applause to JL over here. Thank you. Thank you so much for your support. Now, honestly, like I said, the prediction with Johnny Bones is, and I will bring this back up if we do open up those phone lines, but my prediction with Johnny Bones is he's going to get away with this and he'll fight in November. That's my prediction. So I'm going to move on from that. Now, let's go to... This is kind of crazy, man. I laughed. I actually, literally laughed out loud about this. Okay, give me a second here. I mean, we're living in a bizarro world now. Being a UFC fan in particular, we're all over the place here. They released this video. I didn't get to watch this yet. How many of you guys got to see this? So the Conor Khabib fight, they did it without commentary. Listen, there are ways to do this without commentary live. And UFC, if you're getting the views on the replays for this, just give us an option during the pay-per-views, which I'm probably not going to pay for anymore. But give us an option for the people that do pay for those pay-per-views, link in the description down below, for no commentary. I'm going to take a look at it after the stream, but I guarantee it's great, and they're pulling things out of there of Khabib beating the shit out of Conor. Now, when I saw this released on UFC's YouTube channel, I was laughing very hard about this as well because it seems like they're taking a shot at McGregor. I mean, this is not McGregor's finest performance. I thought it was a fun fight to watch, but let's be serious. As it progressed, you're celebrating maybe the first round that Conor McGregor, that Khabib lost. And then after that, I mean, it was literally a mauling, right? Khabib got his way in that thing. So I think they're taking a shot at McGregor, man. I think they're kind of like, you're right. You know what? You fucked us over for 303. You fucked us over. Let's release this. No commentary. Let's just release the beating, And and it's his birthday too, right? Legacy, I see that in the chat. Yeah, it's his birthday as well, right? So I honestly think that the UFC is just sticking the knife in there and twisting it on Conor just to get a little kickback. Maybe lighting a fire under his ass saying, hey, man, you say you're training. You better be fucking training. You're still under contract. If you're going to fucking fight, let's do this. Don't pull out, blah, blah, blah. So let me know in the chat what you think about that. But I found it very funny. I'm going to check out after the stream, though, without commentary because I was very entertained. Even though Conor lost and I'm a Conor guy, I still was very, very entertained by that fight.
Super chat.
Blind Beauty.
I made $5K off golf bets. Damn, IRS took 24%.
What the hell? We got to try to get Blind Beauty over to that MyBookie. Damn. Blind Beauty, if you do have any questions, I do have a contact over at MyBookie that might be able to help you out over there. If you do have questions on if you ever want to move to a different place. But wow, $5K on golf. What? And Blind Beauty, thank you so much for that donation. How do you bet on golf? Do you know anything about golf? Like, how do you pull this off? She's betting on MMA and golf. She was betting on the NHL. She's betting all over the place. She might have to start a gambling channel. Congratulations, though. I'm glad you hit that. Poetic Joseph Alex Peak. The only problem with the Khabib fight is the melee afterwards. That's the only, then he didn't get to have the belt around his waist, and he didn't get his, he got his revenge and then acted like a fucking lunatic. I know Khabib fans are going to hate this, but I kind of think Conor was so in his head that Khabib beat him up, and he still was still living rent-free in Khabib's head. For him to get, I understand he jumped over and went after Dylan Dennis, but, the rest of the team was trying to punch Conor and shit like that when Conor was, on the floor, half dead. So, clearly Conor McGregor was in his head even after he got beaten. To get into someone's head that severe, is pretty crazy. So, listen, I know people going, oh, you're a dick rider, that's what you're saying that. But, if Khabib had his satisfaction, he humiliated Conor in the cage in a fair competition. Conor said, let's talk, the whole deal. Khabib had every moment that he needed there, but for some reason needed more. And I think Conor's always going to be inside that fucking man's head. It's crazy. It's crazy to think about. This ain't enough. I don't know, man. I don't know. I think Conor got the last laugh, and now Khabib in trouble with the the taxes and shit, and you got the terrorist in his gym, and and Conor's just fucking murking him. I think Khabib's secretly beating the shit out of his wife or something. I don't know. It's I don't know, man. I think he's living in there. It's crazy. And then you could say the other side of it. Well, if Conor keeps on talking about Khabib's living rent-free in Conor's head. You could make that argument as well. But I don't know, man. You know what it needs? It needs a rematch. At 170. Okay. Okay, let's see. I want to find this Nate Diaz thing. I'll look forward to the DMs. By the way, Tracy Cortez, who fought on Saturday night, eyelash right off the fucking face. The funniest shit ever. I've been laughing about that for so long. Tracy Cortez or any of these girls that go in there and fight with fake eyelashes is the dumbest shit ever. It's so fucking stupid. Nothing good could come out of it. And could you imagine, and Jesse was laughing about this, but it's true. You have this thing hanging off your eyelashes. What if you get punched and those things bend in and stab into your fucking eyes or some shit? Or scratch your eye. It just seems so fucking dumb. So I'm so glad that Tracy Cortez lost. Even though I picked her. Okay, let's see. There's those texts. Let's get to the Nate Diaz thing over here. So Nate Diaz, this is pretty fucking crazy, man. He fought for a Fanmio when he fought. Did Ariel talk about it? Jon Jones. Hold on a sec. Let me see something here. Oh, here we go. All right. Yeah, I'll just have Ariel talk about it. I was gonna pull up the article, but Ariel literally reads from an article. I don't know where he put. Probably MMA Fighting, I would guess. But here you go. We'll have him explain it and we'll dissect it.
Event between Diaz and Masvidal took place on July 6th, the Honda Center. From all appearances, the event was a smash success.
Hold on, I see my name in the chat. Moss, bald clam always wins. You blew it. What does that mean? Explain that to me. How you doing, Keep Out? What's going on? A self-owned eye poke, the Beagle, dumbest clam ever. Yeah, it's a pretty dumb clam, right? Anyway, all right, here we go. Here's the Nate Diaz.
Event between Diaz and Masvidal took place on July 6th, the Honda Center. From all appearances, the event was a smash success.
Exclamation point, Ariel in the chat, if you remember, please.
Entire 18,000 plus seat Honda Center sold out, and the fight between Masvidal and Diaz was action-packed. Yet, remarkably, here comes the punchline, I guess. Fanmio and Engel are now reneging on their written and oral promises and guarantees to pay $9 million owing to Diaz because they claim they are going to lose money on the event. In a flurry of desperate calls to Diaz's representatives following the event, Engel despondently...
Andrew, you want to know how you become a member? It's a great question. Hit the join button right under this video over here. If you hit that join button, you could become a member and grab the belt next to your name, work your way up to a black belt, get the fancy emojis. You can talk to Bruce Buffer in the chat. There's so many perks. And Tuesdays I've been doing members only streams. If I miss a Tuesday, I'll try on a Thursday or something like that. So we do exclusive members only stream, where the last members only stream I explained the nasty car accident situation, which we're still going through right now. And I got to be honest with you, it's fucking horrible. Yeah, if you want to learn more about behind the scenes stuff and get closer to the community, just hit join and become a member.
That he was going to lose more money than he anticipated on the event if he paid Diaz what he had promised, and that his wife might divorce him because of the financial losses. Engel went so far as to threaten he might.
All right, let's break this down. Listen, this is nuts.
Following the event, Engel despondently groveled that he was going to lose more money than he anticipated on the event if he paid Diaz what he had promised, and that his wife might divorce him because of the financial losses.
So the dude, I mean, we know they lost money on this event. We know it. It was, I mean, maybe they made some decent money at the gate. No one bought the pay-per-view. I can promise you that I don't know one person. Did anyone in the chat buy it? And I'm not shaming you for buying it, because I always said, if you are a fan of a fighter, okay, if you are a fan of any fighter in combat sports, true fan, and if you're excited about an event, you should pay for it. Listen, I totally think that that's a thing. You should support the athletes. Now, if you can't afford it, then fair. Go get it online and do whatever you're going to do. But if you truly do, enjoy an athlete and want to, back them up, and they're getting whatever pay-per-view buys, or, you want them to succeed, you pay for it, right? It's just like buying merch and all that stuff. Now, me personally, I'm a fan of Nate Diaz, but I couldn't give two shits about the fight. Of course, I paid for it, but that's where I stand with that. But anyway, so this guy, he comes back around and he says, you know what? Can't pay you because we really didn't do good in the event. Well, that's not how it works, right? I'm sure Nate Diaz wasn't like, hey, pay me X amount of dollars, and if we don't do good, you don't pay me. Like, I'm sure he did not. He's not stupid. He's got smart people around him. I'm pretty sure Nate Diaz didn't sign that contract. And spoiler alert, he didn't. He didn't sign that contract. But this guy is trying to play the guilt trip and say, oh, my wife is going to divorce me. We really didn't do good. Listen, I don't think that this guy ever planned on paying Nate. I think he had the fingers crossed, and he was like, well, hopefully this event does really well. And if it doesn't, well, I'm not going to pay the motherfucker. I have seen this in the regional scene. I saw a promotion. I'm not going to say any names. If you did a little digging, you could probably figure it out. But I had a friend that was a promoter for an organization and started not paying the fighters, and then the organization just fell apart. Now, this is on the regional scene. It's at a very low level, right? This is Fanmio, Nate Diaz versus Masvidal. What was it on DAZN? I can't even fucking remember. But anyway, it was like supposedly a big deal, right? They did horrible, and they can't pay Nate Diaz. Now, I haven't heard anything about with Masvidal. Did they pay Masvidal, or are they dicking him around too? But this is the Nate side.
Than he anticipated on the event if he paid Diaz what he had promised, and that his wife might divorce him because of the financial losses. Engel went so far as to threaten he might have to declare bankruptcy to avoid paying Diaz what he owed. There's nothing lower.
Not forehead. No. Definitely not forehead. Let me make that very clear. It's not Triton fights. It's not who turned into what's it called? Flex fights. No, they're awesome over there. It is not them. And I love those guys. No, not them. But it's another organization, and I'll leave it at that.
Or more despicable, this is the last paragraph, in the world of boxing, than a boxing promoter who allows a fighter to put their health and safety on the line in boxing so that the promoter has the chance to make tremendous profits, only to later renege on paying the boxer following the event. Worse yet, Engel knew that Diaz and his representatives were concerned about this exact situation of Engel reneging on payment.
This happens in boxing all the time. Like, this is not like a one-off. This not only happens in regional scene, this happens constantly over there where people aren't getting paid. Oh, we didn't make enough money, and I hear about this constantly behind the scenes. And in boxing, this is like a regular thing. We've seen this so many times in boxing. You get these absurd purses. Even Logan Paul versus Floyd Mayweather. He was running around saying Floyd didn't fucking pay me. When now John Gotti III, see, there we go, Andrew. John Gotti III, he has another fight with Floyd, but he's very smart because he asked Floyd, if I'm going to fight you, you have to pay me up front. And that's what's happening with that. So Gotti's, he's all, good. But Logan Paul apparently did not get paid from Floyd Mayweather. Now, it's not necessarily a terrible thing because he's a prick, but still, if you sign a contract, you should get paid. That's just how, business works. Not in the fight game.
If the event was not a financial success. In the months and weeks leading up to the event, Fanmio, Engel, and their representatives intentionally lied to Diaz's representatives about having set aside the money to make the payments and the payments being guaranteed, going so far as to have their lawyer inform Diaz's representatives in writing that the money to pay Diaz was being held in an independent collection account. Unfortunately, Diaz has been given no choice but to now sue Fanmio and
Now, I'm curious if they say if it was in the contract that this was in an independent account. I wonder if that's a loophole. I wonder if Fanmio, the people over there, I'm not a legal guy. If anyone's in law, actually, I got a lawyer that I can call up about this, and I might actually get his opinion on this. He actually deals with a lot of fighters as well. I think I will hit him up. But it's kind of interesting here. Like, I wonder if Fanmio scammed him from the beginning. They put the money aside. They said they put the money aside in this other account, right? So to protect Fanmio, and maybe in the contract in small writing, that's what's responsible for this money, some bogus fucking account that doesn't even exist, and Fanmio might get away with this. I mean, if they don't have the money, how the fuck are they going to pay him?
Angle to address their blatant breach of contract and fraud and recover the money Diaz is undisputably owned. Why? Event.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy, man. This is a crazy situation. This is why anytime you sign a contract for anything, I learned this when I was a box man and I had a union that I was with, and the union said, don't fucking sign anything. They would look over everything that we put pen to paper on. Fighters don't have a union. They got lawyers, they got people on their team. You would think they would surround themselves with smart enough people to make them not sign contracts. Especially a guy like Nate Diaz, you would think you would have the right people around him. But I got to be honest with you, I don't think Nate's going to get this money. I do not think he's going to get it. I have a feeling Fanmio scammed him. And they were probably like, well, if it works out, then we can pay this guy. If it doesn't, well, we're protected. I have this weird-ass feeling. But let me know in the chat, what do you think? Did Nate just get screwed? $9 million. It's crazy.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Chubbs.
When you guarantee money, it has to go into escrow.
Mm-hmm. That is true. I have a weird feeling, though. Because this is like Fanmio. What is Fanmio? I don't even know. It sounds like some sketch-ass streaming company. I don't know what they are. So I'm very curious to see how this plays out. Like I said, I'm not a lawyer. I don't know anything about what behind the scenes or what the contract said. But I think he's fucked. I think Nate's fucked on this one. And now he's got to be spending money on lawyer fees and shit like that. I hope Nate wins, man. I hope Nate fucking just takes him to court and fucking gets everything and then some on these guys. I really hope Nate wins, because you don't want to see a guy get fucked over like that.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Thank you, Chubbs, very much. Back to back.
Like in the NFL, when they get guaranteed money, it has to go into an independent account, the full amount, and that's supposed to be untouchable by the organization and divvied out per contract agreements.
Okay. So, Chubbs, let me ask you a question. Do you think he's going to get that money? Or do you think there's some sketch shit going on? We'll see. We will see. Screwed. Nate will be his own lawyer. Imagine Nate just shows up and goes, Your Honor. You know what I'm saying? Just says, you know what I'm saying, over and over and over again. No, I hope Nate could pull this off, because, I mean, the good news is Nate is very well off, but $9 million is crazy, man. I honestly, I think Fanmio screwed him. The whole thing was sketch. The whole fight was fucking nuts. Like, it just felt so much for something so little. Did it not feel like that? I mean, the whole arena and everything like that, the production for Diaz versus Masvidal, like, it just, something didn't seem right. And like I said, I don't know one person that bought the pay-per-view, so I can only imagine. Let me see if I could check out the pay-per-view buys for this. I'm sure it's not released, but let's see. Nate Diaz I mean, what people are going to learn from this is be careful what contracts you sign, and hopefully Nate, has himself protected. Let's see. Let's see if anything was released on this. Nate Diaz versus George Masvidal. Purses, poor decisions on Masvidal on getting fat. Couldn't done near 100K. People are speculating like 100K, but that's speculation. And Nate suing Fanmio. Yeah, just nothing about pay-per-view buys. What happened to the days where we could see those pay-per-view buys? They're like, that's long in the past.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Here we go.
I think if they guaranteed the money in a contract and they didn't put the full amount in escrow, they're all going to jail possibly. I mean, I'm not sure if that's fraud, but it's definitely liable.
Yeah, well, if Nate is taking them to court, he has to have some sort of substantial case, right? Lawyers wouldn't say, yeah, let's take him to court. Let's sue these motherfuckers if they didn't have a leg to stand on. So hopefully, that is the case and Nate will get paid. Or maybe these guys are just got to cry poverty. I don't know, man. It's so weird, man. Thank you, Chubbs, man. Appreciate you. We should all rush the Sphere like they did Copa. So the Sphere apparently is going to have 10 fights there. 10, which is perfect. A lot of people online are going, why? Why only 10 fights at the Sphere? Why only 10 fights? And I've been saying this over and over again, that UFC cards should only have 10 fights. That is like the perfect number. It really is. You can put together great matchups. It's not exhausting. It's not like fight after fight. You can kind of get up, take a leak, get your popcorn, get your beer, get back into the seat, enjoy another fight. The matchmaking should be tighter and better, and the quality of the content should be better instead of slamming 13 fights together of matchups you don't give a shit about. Now, when you have a card like UFC 300 and you have top to bottom, everyone you want to see, that's a very rare occasion, right? You're not seeing that. But maybe you'll see it more if you have 10 fights on a card and shrink up the roster and make it just more interesting. I don't know. But anyway, let's see. Ariel Helwani lays out the UFC's plan to remain at 2024. And so, actually, you know what? Let's see if we can get. Let's see. Okay. Ariel was a busy man today, I see.
Was never the plan. The plan was always the Grasso title defense. As she told us a couple of weeks ago, she is, of course, from Mexico, and it is a love letter to Mexico, as Dana White has said. Noche UFC. Makes all the sense in the world.
Alexa Grasso is the only thing Mexican that's going to be in that Sphere, I guess. I know.
She's the only Mexican champion left at the moment. You had Yair as the interim champ. You had Brandon Moreno. And then the plan has, for some time, been Sugar Sean O'Malley versus Merab. Now, both fights aren't official just yet. They haven't been signed, but that has been the plan. And as I said, if they did go with that fight, then the other plan would be Ilya versus Max, most likely on the October 5th Utah card, which hasn't been officially announced yet. Also on that card, we suspect Juliana Pena versus Raquel Pennington.
Oh, my God. So, okay. A couple of people have got a little upset with me. I was actually just going to release a video on this subject, but I'm going to crowbar it into this stream over here. Okay? And if you want to take it, do it, segment, do whatever you want to do with this. But I've been talking about how the UFC has been very subpar lately, and we just had the event that happened on last Saturday. Okay, it was UFC Denver. All righty. Let me go back to that event here. Nuñez versus Cortez. Oh, shoot. I just realized I forgot to put our stream. Hold on a sec. Jess, when you're done, would you be able to put our YouTube stream on the website? I knew I forgot something. You know what I'm talking about? In the back end. Okay. Yeah, if you're clicking on it. Anyway, so this card here, Cortez versus Namajunas. A lot of us were like, oh, fuck this card. Next weekend, women's MMA main event. You know, we're like skeptical, but we went in with an open mind, right? We did our Fuko Friday. Like, hey, it could only go up. And it wound up being a banger. Like, it wound up being really good throughout the prelims. You know, even though we started off with a couple decisions, started off a little rocky, but still, I mean, finishes started to happen. Excuse me. I'm saying it started off a little rocky. There were like 2 fights on this card where you could be like, the Fremd fight, one of them. What was the other one? The Jesuan Vicious Climb was somewhat entertaining. I'm trying to think. This was no contest. What was the other one on this thing that sucked? Actually, no, it was just that. And then you had the main and co-main. But other than that, the card was actually very entertaining, right? Like, we went through this card. We were like, holy shit, man. Every other fight, it felt like we were playing the Carnage song, and we were having a good time watching it. And I think it overachieved. Like, it actually worked out. These fighters showed up. And, you know, it's not in the Apex. It's in an arena in Denver. The crowd was getting hyped, and it worked. It worked very well. And it peaked at Drew Dober versus Gene Silva. This is the fight that we were saying over and over and over again should be the main event. Now, I understand we're not talking about number 1 contenders or guys that are high up in the rankings where it's like, hey, if they win this fight, title shot type situation. But with that being said, I'm gonna reiterate what I've been saying for weeks. When it comes to fight nights, and maybe we could even have this trickle over into pay-per-views, but fight nights specifically, a way to fix fight nights is end on a high note. Even if it's a little bit of a lackluster card, find the most hyped up fight on that card that you know for a fact. There are certain fights you just know for a fact they're going to be very, very entertaining. Drew Dober versus Gene Silva. Now, I understand Gene Silva is not quite a household name yet, but what we've seen of him, he's very, very exciting, and we know this guy is a fucking stud. When he fights, he's a lunatic. And Drew Dober, we already know, is going to put it all out there, fight recklessly, right? This should have been the 5-round main event. I've had people combat it and this and that. No, you should have number 1 contender, this and that. No, you want to leave that building or leave watching that event on a high note. Because if the card is a dud, you could be like, well, that last fight was a banger. You just feel like you got that adrenaline going, right? You're like, oh, okay, it ended strong. You know, if you watch a movie that's subpar but has a banging ending, it winds up being a good movie. You start talking about it. You start telling your friends, you know what? I was kind of, I wasn't feeling it, but then that ending was nuts. It works here too. I feel like I don't understand why the UFC is not doing this. I feel like the fans would sign off on this. Like, you end strong, it works out. I always refer to UFC 196, a card that was fucking trash. It wound up being Conor versus Diaz, and the co-main got interesting, upset Misha Tate, and then the fucking main event, when Conor got submitted, that fucking place went ballistic. It went from a trash. I was bored out of my mind during that card. We were booing Amanda Nuñez and Shevchenko. We were booing everybody during that card. Gene Vellante was on. I was booing, boo, boo. And then all of a sudden it ended so strong. When we were walking out of that building, we were like, holy shit. The UFC could put together shit cards but end strong. And you'd be like, oh, when Robert Whittaker got that knockout in Abu Dhabi, Saudi Arabia, whatever. I don't remember what that card really was. All I remember was it ended pretty damn cool, man. Robert Whittaker fucking annihilated Imavov. It was great. Like, we need more of that shit. That's what we need. But what did the UFC do? They said, let's have Salikov versus Ponzinibbio as the co-main event, a 40-year-old versus a 38-year-old. No one gives a fuck about these guys anymore. Started off okay and then ended horrifically. And then that main event was hot trash. I'm not going to make this shit on WMMA thing because I know there's a lot of WMMA fans out there. But I challenge you. When it comes to WMMA, you got a 5% chance of it being a banger. 5%. Maybe I'm not being nice to WMMA, but I see a 5% chance. My wife would probably agree if she came in. She's in the shower. She'll be out. Who knows? Maybe we'll put her on the mic. I dare any of the females in the chat to tell me otherwise. We usually, like, they're exciting people in WMMA, don't get me wrong. But for the most part, you put it in the main event, it's going to suck. And in this situation, listen, Rose did what she had to do to get the win. Rose still got it. Up a weight class, she still got it. Tracy Cortez came in on short notice, gave her best. It was a shit fight. The highlight of that fight was an eyelash flying off of fucking Cortez's head. Shit. Straight up dog shit. I went downstairs. We let our parents go home. And when I say let them go home, they were miserable. Like they enjoyed the card and just miserable at the end because of that fucking horrible fight. Jesse, when they left, Jesse looked at me and she goes, that was terrible. After we said our goodbyes to the family, Jesse made it a point to look at me and say that was fucking terrible. This is not shitting on WMMA. This is telling the truth. And it was such a good card. It was so fucking entertaining until the co-main and main ruined the entire night. The UFC could fix this. Why are they not doing this? You can go from every card, I should have just made a video on this because I got to be honest with you. I think something has to be fucking done. It's super simple. The UFC is still a good product. I still love the UFC. I'm still a fan. I'm not being a hater. Little tweaks could make this product so good each and every week, even on a shit card. We can dig on these cards and say, well, that should have been the main event. We got Jesse on the mic on the side over here, and I got some donations. Hold on. Let me play these donations. We're going to get Jesse's opinion on this.
Wonderful.
Thank you for the support, friends. Roberto coming in.
Most Nate made $1,330,000 in Cali taxes, camp expenses. He pockets $500K minimum. Not bad for a bad boxer, lol. Hopefully he gets paid what was promised.
I hope so. I don't think he's going to get it, man. I don't. Thank you very much, Ernst. Appreciate you.
Wonderful.
Your challenge. Look at this weaker card and select the most banger fight.
Okay.
Good luck. It's not as obvious.
All right, I'll find the real main event. Thank you, Sonosi. Appreciate you. Okay, we got one more coming in over here. Thank you, guys. Appreciate the support. We got Chubbs.
Wonderful.
Big Chubbs coming in. Thank you very much, Chubbs.
The main event wasn't bad. She did sit her down in the first round and there were a lot of punches. Come on, actually got booed. But Dana needs to come in and just start telling people, hey, if you're not going to kill male or female, we are cutting you.
Yeah, and listen, I know I goof a lot on WMMA. I get it, man. And there are a lot of I know Chubb's a big WMMA guy. You know, like I don't want to keep on beating a dead horse and say, oh, WMMA's trash. I don't want to be that fucking guy. There's so many kids on YouTube that just keep on hammering home the same point. I don't want to do that. What I want to do is speak my mind and tell the UFC, if you do a little this and that, we can make this product even better. It's a good product, but lately it's been pretty bad. And I'm a customer. I pay for every pay-per-view. I don't know how much longer that's going to go. But I pay for my ESPN Plus. You know, like, I feel like we should have a say in this. Yet, we're just being ignored. Now, here's Jesse on the mic. Jesse, what would you like to add to this?
No, you mentioned me coming in, so that's why I'm here.
Oh.
To answer questions, I guess. And give my 2 cents. I didn't like the main event one bit, and I thought it ruins the rest of the card.
It was such a good card. Now,
Yeah.
Jesse missed the prelims. But when she hopped it on the main card, it still was very entertaining. We hit the co-main event. We started really falling off. And how do you follow Dober versus Silva, right? A tough act to follow, which means Dober versus Silva should at least have been the co-main event, but no. And then we ended with that Rose fight. I honestly look at it like this. Would you ever watch that fight back? Rose versus Cortez. The answer for me is no. I don't know. Would you ever watch that fight back?
No, I would not.
No. Right? So what do you think? Like, all right, I'm going to do what Sonosi said, right? I'm going to go over to the event that's coming up. This is... Let me find the main event. Let me figure it out. Yes, some cards, it's a tough one. So we're headlined by Jandiroba versus Amanda Lemos. I put the poster on our X, okay? I put it on our X account, and one person reached out and said something about talking about thought Jandiroba was a guy. Like literally thought, like doesn't watch the UFC, just said that guy something. I was like, oh my God. Like,
who said this?
I don't want to say who it was. Go to the X. But anyway, I made a comment, oh, winter is coming because this looks like two White Walkers over here. I felt like they were channeling their Game of Thrones. Listen, could this fight be good? Possible. Jandiroba is a very scrappy young lady. She's the favorite in this fight, so credit to Rob Schneider for that. But, you know, Lemos and Jandiroba do nothing for me. And when I think of Lemos, I was thinking about how, Zhang Wei Li was just kind of laying on her, you know, and kind of grappling and shutting her down and dominating. Like, Zhang Wei Li is awesome. She is one of the 5%. Zhang Wei Li, I fucking love watching her fight. So I've shit on her before because of the 300 card, but I still like Zhang Wei Li, okay? But this main event, not so good. So let's find it. I'm very biased with Cody Durden, Bruno Silva. I would love to put that up there, but I know people would flip out on that. Yeah, you know what? Sanosi's right. This is an exception to the rule. This card is vomit. It's a vomit card. I mean, you do have Korean Superboy back on the card, which I used to be a big fan of. And Cody's, you know, a friend of the show. I hit him up today, you know, wished him good luck. We'll get him back on soon. Yeah, if I wasn't doing the MMA-Holes, and I would skip this card. I wouldn't even fucking watch it. This is bad. Like, this is for the hardcore fan, right? Mm-hmm. Like, when you look at this thing, would you choose not hanging out with your family to watch this?
Absolutely not. Rather be playing poker around the table.
There's not even a reason. I'd rather play Monopoly than watch this shit. You know, like, I mean, let's be serious. But of course, we're going to show up. We're going to give the commentary. And we're going to have an open mind. You know, we're going to. But who the fuck? Like, I mean, honestly, what were they thinking? There's no solution for this. You know what the solution for this card is? You know what's going to happen. The card's going to overachieve. And then people be like, see, this is why you watch these cards. And I get it. We're going to watch it. Right? This is what we do for our livelihood, and I like watching people get beat up. So at the end of the day, I say I'm not going to watch it, but who knows? I would probably be at a barbecue, I'd be barbecuing, and I would have my phone on the side. I'd be taking a peek. I probably would watch it because I'm a hardcore. But I mean, Jesus, this is one in the Apex. What time's it start? 2 p.m. Eastern? So it starts a little earlier.
Wow, 11?
What?
11 our time?
No, 2 p.m.
Yeah, 2 p.m. Eastern.
Oh, yeah. So it'd be 11. Yeah, it starts very early, yeah. So, yeah, I'm gonna be cranky because it's early. You know? I don't fucking know, man. Like,
what time would it end then? What does that mean?
Well, it's going to end early. So we'll have our night. Yeah, we'll have it like a normal night. So, I mean, all right. You know what? I'll give it a pass because it is early, and if you want to have a life, you still can have that life. So that's kind of cool. And listen, I'm going to be hyped for Cody Durden. I am, just because he's one of our guys. 11 p.m. is early? No, 11 a.m. Did
11 a.m.
You said 11 p.m.?
No, 2 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah, 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Yeah. So, yeah, it's going to be super early for us over here, which is great. East Coast, what is it going to be? When's the main card start? Let's see. 5 p.m. So, yeah, you still can go out and get puss. You know, you can still go out and get puss. Okay, so that's the only plus about it. Oh.
Wonderful.
Hold up, there's more to this.
The reason there is such a thirst for McGregor to come back is because he will actually stand in the box and he's not afraid to do that. There's even a thirst for Nate because that part is missing now.
Yeah, listen. McGregor will come back. No doubt about it. McGregor's going to come back. The UFC wants McGregor back. The UFC is going to make Jon Jones, you know, get through this law stuff, this nonsense that's going on over here. They're going to find ways to pay the right people and get Jon Jones off of that. Yeah, we are starving. The UFC is hanging on by a thread because of Alex Pereira. They are literally, if Alex Pereira was not on the roster, the UFC would be so fucked right now. So fucked. Alex Pereira is literally single-handedly throwing the fucking company on his back and says, I got you. Your pay-per-view sucks? No problems. But Alex is not coming back until the end of this year, right? So we can't rely on Alex Pereira anymore, and here we are with Jandiroba versus Lemos and all this other nonsense. Now, I will say this. The reason why this card is early, not because of it sucks, because Jake Paul's fighting Mike Perry this weekend.
Oh, is that this weekend?
That's this weekend.
Oh,
Jake
shit.
Paul versus Mike Perry.
Well, are
it's
we
fight
doing that?
week. Of course.
When,
Were you kidding me?
What time is that? So then we don't have the night.
We don't have the night. Yeah, I just thought of that
You
when.
motherfucker.
Nope, we do not have the night with our family. We will be marathon stream. So we're gonna pregame with this,
Ugh.
and then we're gonna roll into Mike Perry
how
versus Jake Paul.
awful.
Yep, yep. But at least this, as much as you may hate Jake Paul, you know that place we're gonna be juiced up.
Yeah, at least that there's like some redeeming factor of the night, I guess. There's gonna be.
And it confirms my point from before, right? It doesn't matter about fucking belts or titles. It doesn't matter. I am very hyped about Jake Paul versus Mike Perry. It's a novelty fight between two fucking guys. Mike Perry's a lunatic. I love Mike Perry. He's awesome. Jake Paul is annoying. You want him to lose, right? It's going to be a banger. It's going to be a banger. And it's in boxing, right? I'm not even a boxing fan, but I got to be honest with you. I'm interested in that, right? It's about the fun fight. The main event should be, now that's a pay-per-view, whatever. But I think the main event in every fight night should be the fun fight on the card. This is the exception. There's nothing here. There is nothing. I mean, honestly, like Tavares versus Park, I have some interest. Not a main event at all. I can't even gonna say this. Like I would put. See, I'm biased because of Cody. I don't know what you would put as the main event on this. Honestly, yeah. Put Doo-Ho Choi versus Aljao. The Korean Zombie, they got a good fan. Koreans got a good fan base. I don't fucking know. This card shouldn't even be happening. This is just no reason for this. Muhammad Usman's hilariously horrible. He's fun to watch. So listen, we'll have a good time with this. We'll make the best of it. It's going to leak into the Jake Paul circus with Mike Perry. So this one's going to be a novelty appetizer, I guess. I don't know. We got alerts.
Wonderful.
People want to see blood. They want to see two willing fighters who know that they might get hurt throwing a punch.
Yeah. I mean, that at the end of the day, they're in a cage, right? If we wanted to see people outpoint each other, we'd watch boxing. When you're locked inside a cage with small-ass gloves and all sorts of combat, we don't want to see fighters play it safe. We want to see violence. And, of course, you want to see violence in boxing as well. But MMA is designed for straight violence. And that's what we want to see. So, listen, if you want guys that play it safe on the card, fine. Put them on there. Don't make them the main event. Don't do it. Hey, Chubbs, thanks, baby. Chubbs going crazy tonight with the deuces.
Here's where I'll be critical of the Rose fight at the end of the 5th round. Cortez tried to call her to the center and Rose was like, no, I'm winning.
Exactly. Yeah, Rose is showing her ass. Now, you know, Rose, like for instance, Joanna Jędrzejczyk said she'll come back to fight for a BMF belt. You know, she knows she's out of the title picture, but she'll come out of retirement to fight for some BMF. And I got to be honest with you, I wouldn't be opposed because I like JJ. Joanna is one of my favorites. Joanna wouldn't show her ass. She would, if she was invited to the center of the octagon, she would fucking dance. But Rose danced, she danced in a different way. She started twerking. I don't need that shit, man. What'd you think about that when Rose started fucking shaking her ass?
I didn't even see that, honestly.
You missed it?
That happened.
Yeah, Jesse was falling asleep.
Yeah, I was so shocked by that. Like, it's so weird because which fight was it? Dober? That one,
So good.
I was so amped up, and yeah, that was a really good fight to watch. And then
they should have stopped the card there.
And then
that was 10 fights.
And it's not even like figuratively speaking. I literally was falling asleep during the Rose fight, like dozing off.
It's
it was
crazy.
that bad.
I had a guy who blocked me today on X. If you want to see, you could see. You just go to the.
No.
Yeah. He blocked me.
What did you do?
Well, he was super simp, and all I was responding was you're a complete simp, defending the main event and this and that, and I responded saying, my wife who watches the sport thinks it's horrible, and I responded. I said there's like a 5% where you'll get a good female fight in a main event. Like there's a 5% chance you'll get it. Now maybe I'm being a little drastic, maybe 10%, but I'm not going any higher than 10%. That's what you're gonna get. And he got so, and then I sent a link to this. Like we were just going back and forth, and I just kept calling him a simp. And the final thing is I gave him a link to this stream. If you're in the chat, we can still talk. But I don't think so. I think he was a little scared. He called me fat, Jesse, and he called you an inbred.
Oh, that's nice. I didn't even do anything, man.
Didn't even do anything. But, this guy, he was defending his girlfriend. you know, I guess I don't know. I have no idea. But I that's the only thing I love about X, man. X is so funny, man. There's a group on X, formerly known as Twitter, that is just they're really funny to mess with. They're really funny. All right. Anyway, you want to give your opinion on the Jon Jones situation?
I don't know much about it, honestly.
Long story short, I spoke about it earlier. So Jon Jones, it says here, faces 2 misdemeanors related to the drug testing agents. So remember when the 2 USADA agents came up?
Yeah.
And he supposedly threatened him. I showed the video again. Very cordial. He's bless you. He's fist bumping and high fiving the agents. They're laughing as they're on their way off. But now he has a chance. If he's found guilty, he goes to jail.
Really?
Yeah.
For what?
For being aggressive, I guess. I don't know.
What do you go to he didn't do anything. What is he going to
jail for? I mean, judging from that video, nothing happens. But unless they have some sort of, maybe they were recording him with their phone. You know, maybe they were recording him and they caught him doing something or saying something that was aggressive. I have no idea.
Well, being aggressive and then committing a crime are 2 different things.
Well, apparently he grabbed the lady's phone or something, and
so assault.
I don't know. I don't know what they're just saying misdemeanor charges. So I don't know. If convicted of both charges, he could get less than a year in jail and fines up to $1,500, which, I mean, is really nothing. But it could jam him up for a November fight.
That's wild.
I don't think he's going to be, honestly, I don't think anything's going to happen out of this.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think so. I honestly.
Well, we also don't know the context of it, though.
Yeah, I mean, if they have evidence of something.
There's got to be, I mean, nobody just goes to court without having something.
Well, I mean, you could always, I'm just fucking bleeding. You could always go, you have a tissue?
Ew. You're picking your skin?
Look, my skull is bleeding. Hold on.
That's disgusting. Stop picking your skin.
My white blood cells aren't working, Jesse.
No, you're just picking at it. It's disgusting.
And I'm picking at my scabs. What was I going to say? Anyway, I don't know. What do you think? What? I think I'm bleeding, Jesse. I might bleed out.
It's disgusting.
I might bleed out, guys. Good thing I wore my wife beater for Jon Jones for the segment. I'm about to beat you up, Jesse.
I don't know. I don't have any thoughts on it. Like I said, we don't really know the context of everything, so it's hard to have an opinion on it right now, you know?
All right, let me ask you a question. We're going to do like rapid fire shit. Do you like Armin Sarukian?
No, I don't give a fuck.
Me neither. I fucking can't stand this guy. There we go.
Wonderful.
Rapid fire. Kainotto.
You know what I don't understand?
Yes.
Why do they stop women's fights when they have a little blood on their faces? I mean, most of these broads don't mind it at all, if you know what I mean. Right, guys?
Oh my gosh.
I mean, some of these girls love gnawing on clots.
That's disgusting.
Very good point. You think that's disgusting? Thank you. Oh, you guys don't like Armin either? I don't know what it is. Like, he doesn't seem like a bad dude, but I don't know. He just seems there's something off. Anyway, Dana White gives update on McGregor versus Chandler. You guys ready for this?
Fight is real, and is 2024 going to be the time?
Yeah, that's the fight that needs to happen. You know, we've been waiting for it. It's an awesome fight. It's a fun fight, and yeah, I mean, as of sitting here, right now, no, I don't have a date for it or a plan or anything like that. And obviously, me, the fans, and ESPN would love it to happen in 24.
You know why you'd love it to happen? Because we have this shit coming up this weekend. How many fucking weeks are you going to do this shit to us?
For like every good card they've had this year, they've had like 5 horrible ones. So I think he realizes that the UFC they're scraping the bottom of the barrel right now.
You're begging Conor to come back because your product is shit right now. It's so crazy because they're on top of the world. They're on top of the combat sports game.
It's so weird.
Like,
it's really weird.
It's like they're nosediving because of 300. They drained themselves on 300 and they haven't fucking bounced back yet. Dude, it's nuts.
Yeah, it's wild.
How many events have we been since 300?
And you know what's weird, too? I was looking at a demographic not too long ago about how UFC fans are growing. Like, the demographic of UFC fans is growing.
Mm-hmm.
So how, with a growing demographic of fans, is the events tanking like this? It
I'll tell you exactly the reasoning because I am so smart, Jesse. You ready? Nelk Boys.
Yeah.
All these influencers that the UFC has infused into the UFC, Nina Drama Simps, you know, there are a lot of kids that have latched. The UFC used to be a geriatric, you know, like if you look at the fan base, and the UFC got very smart. They said, hey, listen, you know what we're going to do? We're gonna get these influencers in here, and we're going to get that young audience.
Yeah.
The problem is the young audience does not pay for pay-per-views. They don't. They're smart. They don't do it. And a lot of the older people are starting to catch on and say, wait, I don't have to pay for this shit. The young kids are not going to pay for pay-per-views.
Yeah.
There's a link. There's a way. There's a Reddit. There's a whatever.
Yeah, these kids grew up in a technological world, so it's not difficult for them to find anything, really.
So, yes, they were smart getting a younger demographic, but the problem is it's not transferring into pay-per-view buys. So you'll sell merch. You'll put people in the you'll sell out every event, right? Because people love to be in a building for a UFC fight. It's a great time, right? But when it comes to pay-per-views, not so much. So that's where the evolution of the UFC is going to be. We don't have to put together great fights because we got the Nelk boys. And Steve will do it, pounding Happy Dad's cage side, you know?
Yeah.
So we're going to get that social media exposure, this and that. Pay-per-view is going to be a thing of the past. I guarantee it. It's within just a matter, like, I'm talking within a year, we're probably going to lose pay-per-views. It's probably going to go over to a Netflix or something where there's going to be a streaming platform and they can monetize it in different ways. So they're already transitioning. But right now, it's terrible. Right now, the product is like, this is the worst. In the 8 years that I have been doing this, this is the worst drought we've had. And that was a good card on Saturday that ended horrifically and turned it instantly into a terrible card. Why? Because you put the wrong fight in the main event. That's it. It's that simple.
But we'll see what happens.
Okay. Fight is real.
All right, so anyway, Conor McGregor coming back. I mean, I'm even getting sick of talking about Conor McGregor. Chubbs, 40 months. Thank you, man. Chubbs, a very wonderful MMA hole. Thank you for your support and being a member. Thank you to all the members in the chat. What else did he say on McAfee? Dana White says he spoke with Donald Trump on the phone. Okay, so this is interesting. And like I said before, we have a second channel called Gummy Gang. I'm going to do a stream, focusing on him getting shot in the ear, because I am interested in that. I'm curious to see what you guys think. But that's going to be over on Gummy Gang, our second channel. Here is Dana talking about it.
I thought of him going to UFC Denver.
No, he was never going to UFC Denver. I was on a plane to Italy, so he wouldn't go to the UFC unless I was there, number one.
Ready for this? All right. So Dana White was on a plane to Italy, so he did not have to be in Denver. He tried to get as far away from that Denver card as possible.
Because he knew. He knew.
Not even in the building. Like, even Dana White doesn't give a fuck about UFC Denver. What do you think Dana White's going to be for Jandiroba versus Hebos? If he's in the building for that, I'll be impressed. Now, it's in Vegas, so he can just show up. It's in his backyard. You think he's going to be there? There's no way.
No.
He's going to be watching Jake Paul. Oh, actually, the event's not going to be going on the same time, so.
It doesn't matter. He's not going to be there.
Number two, I've been saying this forever about this guy. He is one of the toughest, most resilient human beings that I have ever met in my life. And let me tell you what, everybody wants to act like a tough guy, right? Everybody wants to act like a tough guy. Well, when the shit goes down, you find out who tough guys are and who tough guys are not.
Is this a shot at Ariel Helwani when the scuffle happened on the stage and Ariel just scurried out like a little rat? Do you think?
I don't remember that.
At was it Dylan Dennis versus Logan Paul, and Ariel just dipped out? Yeah. I don't know. I think this is a little Ariel shot over here. I hear it.
He's not that into Dana's head.
I don't know. Dana's a little,
Shit goes down. You find out who tough guys are and who tough guys are not. This guy is the legitimate, ultimate American badass of all time. The guy takes a shot at him. He goes down. He stands up, and then he starts chanting to the crowd and fight, fight, fight. I literally was blown away. I called him as soon as I landed. I called him, and he answered, and he was already home from the hospital.
What ear did he answer on, Jesse? What do you think? He picked up the phone and put it in his head since, there was a big hole there.
And we talked for like 30 minutes. Pat, I'm telling you, I have never known.
It's the greatest thing that's ever happened. This is what Dana, I've won the election. I could just see it. Like an intimate conversation between Trump and Dana has to be that. Like just him saying, Dana, we did it. You know it. Listen, I said this to my father. Okay. I am not I'm the middle guy, right? I lean in a direction now. Things are kind of crazy, so it's easy to lean in a direction. But with that being said, I try to be as unbiased as possible. The funniest, it's not funny, but the craziest thing about the Trump getting shot was when it happened, a switch flipped in his head, and he said, "Oh, I can capitalize off of this." Like instantly, the man's brain went to, "Oh, I can take this and make this something," and he starts screaming, "Fight, fight, fight!" That's not a man that's a badass. That's a man saying, "I just fucking won this election."
That's a businessman.
That's a businessman making a move there. So listen, I actually respect that because listen, we run a business. I kind of get it. And seeing him getting shot in the ear and immediately going there, you know how I am. I would totally do the same shit. I
think people with their brains wrapped around business are always looking for the next opportunity.
When you're obsessed.
Yeah.
When you're obsessed, you do shit like that. And holy fuck, man, it was so funny watching, But anyway, let's move on. You wanna say anything else about that situation?
No, I mean, listen, I don't like talking about politics at all. I too lean in a direction, but I don't like talking about it because, it
pisses people off. Yeah, no, I get it.
It's not worth it, honestly, because some people just take it so seriously, and it's like, come on.
Yeah. Guys, don't take it too serious.
We're all breathing the same air here.
Exactly. All right, so this is the card. Ariel. Okay, so UFC 306 The Sphere. They're targeting Merab versus O'Malley. Very Mexican main event right there, right? 307 would be Topuria versus Holloway, which is, Utah. Dude, what's up with Utah? Like, my cousin moved there. He loves it. And Sober Carl's in Utah. I don't know if he's in the chat. The UFC loves Utah, man. Like, they just show up and they put some good stuff. Sarukian versus Holloway is very interesting. It's a good featherweight fight after the BMF thing. Is Max going to put the BMF belt on the line? Like, that's badass. And then you have UFC 308, Makhachev Sarukian 2. God, please, Islam, knock Sarukian's head straight off. Please. You won the first one. Now fucking pummel him in the second. They're targeting 309 for Jones versus Miocic, pending he doesn't go to jail. And then 310 to be determined, Conor McGregor versus Chandler. So the idea of Chandler and McGregor being on the Sphere, mystical Moss right again, not happening. I know Conor's coming back. But I confirmed it on a previous stream. I said, listen, all these people with their conspiracies and this and that, I thought it, but I never latched onto it. Conor McGregor will not be at the Sphere. It's not happening. So all those knuckleheads trying to drill that shit into your brain, I thought it. When we interviewed Adrian Yanez, I was like, man, this might be the way they're going. But the more I thought about it and the more we were fucking doing shows, I was like, that's not going to happen. So Conor McGregor, Chandler, if it even happens, well, it's not going to happen at the Sphere. So what do you think about Sean O'Malley versus Merab Dvalishvili? A fight that probably is not going to do good pay-per-view. I'm just saying. Because of the fan base.
If I'm being honest, I don't like Merab that much. I'm like, listen.
So you'll be team Sean?
I have nothing against him. I don't have any ill will. I wish him the best. I hope he,
Law MMA, nothing?
Yeah,
no?
I know. I get it. And I do have a loyalty to Law MMA, for, the relationships that we've built there and things like that. I do have a loyalty to Law. And it's nothing like personal. It's just, he's just not for me. His personality, I don't know. Like, it's just, I do not get hyped for Merab. And every time I see him in like a social media post or something, like, I kind of cringe a little bit, like I'm just like, ugh.
The shark thing was funny, but yeah, no, I hear you.
I don't find him,
I might be secretly rooting for O'Malley.
Yeah, and listen,
I might actually be rooting.
And listen, O'Malley has put me off a lot too, especially as of late. But like, I kind of have to lean in the favor of O'Malley this time around, just for the simple fact of who he's fighting.
Yeah, listen, I'm not an O'Malley guy either, but she's not wrong, right? If you think about it, what's better? Better is Sean winning. It's not O'Malley. It's not Merab. The only way you want Merab to win is if you're just sick of Sean O'Malley, which I get. And I'll probably be picking Merab regardless. So I'll be rooting for him to win for my prediction. But as a fan, I got to be honest with you. I think Jesse's correct. I think you got to root for Sean. Like if Merab wins, what does that mean? A fucking champion that's going to hold on to the belt and fucking hump his way, I mean, he kind of was stagnant. He could have fought Aljo, like he could have, but they're boys, and I get it. I respect that. Kind of held up bantamweight a little bit. He should have been champ already. So, I mean, maybe I'm not as hard as a Merab as you are. I kind of am into him a little bit, but I get it, though. I get why you would rather see Sean win that fight. I kind of agree in a little way. I don't know. We'll see when it gets closer. But I will say this. It's not a bad main event for the Sphere. Because, and let me tell you why. Like, I thought that they did need something big there because of all the money they're spending. But could you imagine Sean's look in the Sphere on the big screen with all the graphics and shit like that? They could really capitalize on the rainbows and fucking unicorns and all that crazy shit. You know, the psychedelic nonsense that comes along with Sean O'Malley. Could you imagine you're tripping, you're drunk, or you're fucking high, and you're in that building, or you're watching that pay-per-view, and it's just lights and all that crazy stuff going on with Sean O'Malley coming out, like riding a unicorn or some shit, you know? Like,
yeah, I mean, I get where you're going, but it's just, I could think of like a million other fights that I would put in the Sphere.
I don't know which fighter on the roster. Which fighter? I couldn't think of any fighter. Maybe Alex Pereira, you could have some fun tribal shit and stuff like that. But what other fighter on the roster could you make it look magical? You know what I'm saying? Other than like a guy like Conor McGregor, right? I mean,
yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, the Jon Jones Stipe Miocic fight to me is, you know, I know, I get it. He's in trouble right now, but I'm saying, you know, if you're gonna ask me what's more exciting to watch at the Sphere, like for their first time at the Sphere, I would not be putting Sean O'Malley and Merab there. I wouldn't be doing that.
Well, visually, I can't think of a fighter. I can't think of a fighter that you can put together visually. Now, Merab, I don't know visually what you can do with him other than make the arena smell like body odor or something. I don't know. Like, what would you do? Like, when Merab comes out, do you pump in skunk? Like, actually, when Sean comes out, the skunk smell should come in for the weed, right? But when Merab comes out, do armpit smell? Like, what do you do?
I don't know.
Because clearly, he probably does smell, right? I never met him in person. I've interviewed him. I don't know. Maybe Kendall could confirm if he stinks or not. But let me... Anyway, let's just chat. Well, let me know what you guys think. It's got to be Potan at the Sphere. I mean, right? They use him for everything else. We might as well go there. But yeah, he's not fighting until after that. And if you look at this, I mean, Alex Pereira's not on here. But I will say this. You know what they're doing, right? They're like saying, well, if anything falls apart here, you know who's going to slip in.
Yeah.
You know, Mr. Bow and Arrow is going to slip in and save one of these things, especially down in this level here. So it would be hilarious if 310 gets confirmed, McGregor versus Chandler. It's a done deal. And then Alex slips in and fucking fights again for the main event. When do we start getting sick of it? You know, like,
yeah,
it's weird. But anyway, let me know in the chat what you guys think. He probably doesn't smell right. I don't know. You know, people are saying it, and I can't deny it. I never ran into Rob in person, which is kind of crazy. Like, you would think with all the New York stuff we've done, we would have. We ran into Aljo a million times. Rob is so good. I think in 5 rounds fight, he will kill, win, or he'll kill him. Listen, I think Rob's going to win. Yes, I do think Rob's going to win. I'm pretty confident in that, but you never know. Sean's shocked us before. Thanks, Punk, bro. I think it's a pretty good matchup, to be honest. Chi Wee Wee. Getting by, bro. Good night. What's up? Good to see you. How you doing, Sober Carl? What you doing in chat? How you doing, buddy? Okay, let's move on. Chat's slow tonight. What the fuck? We got a good chat rate, but it's like, I don't know, I feel like you're moving like It's Monday. It's okay. We move on. That's good. It gets me through the topics. Tom Aspinall responds, I did not watch. So we were supposed to have this man on. We missed the date. Did they ever follow up? We didn't follow up. So I guess
it left off with us, but it never.
Okay, so because we missed that date, all right, fuck him. We were supposed to have Aspinall on, but we missed the we missed the email. So by the time we got back, and now I'm not gonna fucking harass him. So who gives a fuck? But is Aspinall crying over here? What's happening? Aspinall responds to Cyril Gahn denying that he ducked him. Okay.
In French, but this is the quote translated into English. He, Tom Aspinall, only accepts my fights when I cannot. He likes to say that I refuse him, but the truth is that I've already called him out on the networks. Now that he is above me in the rankings, he allows himself to say, no problem. We'll meet each other soon.
Okay. I don't think that's very accurate, but I mean, I think what people need to understand is the UFC, and I don't want to. I'm sure Curtis.
Guys, hit the like button before you fall asleep listening to this.
This is aware of this. The UFC didn't want me to fight Curtis. Mm-hmm. They wanted me to.
Yeah, I missed him over an email. Yeah, I mean, we could harass him and get him on, but I'm at the point where it's like, I don't chase anyone. You know what I'm saying? If the stars line up, we get them. I'm not looking. I got to be honest with you. I don't think an Aspinall interview would do anything for us, to be honest. It would be cool. It would be cool to talk to him. You know, But I don't give a fuck. Like I don't even care. I like doing our content. I like doing our fight reactions. I like doing interviews if they really want it. And they reached out to us, so they clearly did want it. But stars didn't line up, and it is what it is. I'm not chasing any motherfucker down. I don't give a shit if it's Jon Jones, Conor McGregor. I'm not chasing anyone down. If the stars line up, I'll have them on. That's how it works.
Cyril didn't want to, and that's I don't know what's going on with his schedule. I have no idea. Like, the guy's living his own life. He's doing his acting thing. If that's what makes him happy, and that's what he wants.
Okay, what the fuck? That sounds like a boring ass. Maybe it's good we didn't have him on. Jesus Christ, he must be exhausted or something. D-Man, thank you for being a member for 37 months. He says, only two good at WMMA are Zhang Wei Li, and Wei Li Zhang. Thank you.
Wonderful.
Thank you. Well said. What's this? ESPN has ranked top 100 professional athletes. Who cares? Magomed. Oh, Magomed actually did an interview here. What's this? Magomed Ankalaev says Pereira won't be able to touch him in their fight. He doesn't speak English, though, right? Oh, fucking hell. We all understand, many experts understand that I can easily beat Pereira. Okay. Oh, so he does talk a little shit. I thought it was all not even close. I think his speed won't touch me at all. All right, so he seems like he's pretty confident. The most he can do is hit me with a low kick. I think he won't touch me with his hands. Damn, my man's confident. I'm so confident in myself that I can even beat him standing up. No, that's like... It's the mistake everyone's fucking making, bro. Like, what the... That's like music to Pereira's ears. All right, fuck this guy, man. Fuck this guy. Like, what the hell, man? You'll lose. Yeah, go in with that. Go in with that idea. Like, what's wrong with these guys? CTE is real, man. Unless he's baiting them. It's real. Why would you say something like that unless you're trying? All right, so Rose was on Ariel. Let's see what else we got. Juliana Pena, I am good. Dana White stuff. Let's see. What did we miss? Did we miss anything worth speaking about? I mean, it doesn't. I think we covered everything. Let's see. Let me just double check. Make sure. Let's see. Yeah, let me know in the chat if there's anything you want to chat about. We'll dive into it. But I think we touched on everything of importance. Dana White stuff. Yeah, we spoke about that. You should get Jandiroba on the show. We should get Jandiroba on the show. I mean, listen, I wouldn't be if she does she speak English? I'm not about to have a translator. I don't know, man. Imagine going through the entire fight camp just for your opponent to tap immediately. What's this? What is this? What organization is this? He just went on the floor. What the fuck? Yo, look at this. Look at this. Oh, my God, dude. We've seen shit like this before. It never gets old. Oh, my God. Look at this. This is so funny. I don't know where this is. So this guy. Okay, here we go. He puts the mouthpiece in. Okay. He's crouched over. He's getting ready to go. And he slams on the mat. He's like, I'm good. And the guy's like, fuck you. Oh, my God. He's giving him the finger. Oh, the other dude is pissed. Wow. All right. Yeah, there you go. You know what would be funny? You know what would be really funny? It would be funny if Conor McGregor, if Chandler did that to McGregor. You know, you waited all this time. Finally, they make the walk. And then Chandler just hits the floor and just starts tapping on the floor like, you won. And he just flips in the bird. It'd be so fucking funny, man. The UFC would be pissed. Imagine that's the plan. Michael Chandler's like, I'll get all you motherfuckers. All right, what else we got over here? Let's see. Garcia was apologizing to his baby mama. Ryan Garcia's got to go to he's got to go to rehab, man. My man is like really fucked up. Delivery driver tried to swing on a heavyweight boxer, Derek. Was it Chisoroa? Let's see. Sounds like they're in the UK. Oh, he headbutt him. Did he just fucking headbutt him? Hold up. Let's see. Have you seen an old video of Tito kissing Dana? I think I have. I've pretty much seen all the Tito videos. That poor guy. What is this?
You don't grab me up for no fucking reason, bro.
Yeah, it looks like he tried to headbutt him. So he tried to swing at a heavyweight boxer. This guy had a death wish. Nothing really happened. Slow news. 2 versus 2 MMA is insane. We've seen this shit before. It's hilarious, man. I'm all about it. This should have been the main event on Saturday. Look at these guys. This is, yeah. Fuck women's MMA. Can we add this? Look at this. This is fantastic. You know what? How about they do that? Yeah, I got to fix for women's MMA. Just put 4 of them in there. It's such an easy solution. You know, just put 4 of them in the cage and you instantly got a better product. Okay, beautiful. All right, guys. Put 4 of them in. We're good. All right, guys. I want to say this. Thank you guys for stopping by on a Monday night. If you'd like, hit that like button. Thank you so much. Hey, thank you to all the donators that came in tonight. Big shout out to the sponsors, Dubby, MyBookie, the promo code MMA-HOLES. A great time hanging with you. Become a member so when we do our members-only streams, we can chill behind the scenes. I kick my feet up. We hang out. We have a nice coffee together. We talk about whatever. So become a member. Join up for that. Thank you so much to everyone. Each and every time you guys come into the stream, seriously, you guys make our dreams come true by letting us do all these streams, by financially supporting us. I thank you very much for that. We'll be back on Wednesday on this channel, pending no more car accidents. I'll be back Friday for Food Car Friday, which has been fire. If you didn't see the last Food Car Friday, we've left it up. Go check it out, especially the second half of it. Got a little feisty with the community, but I had a blast, man. I seriously, that Food Car Friday was great. It's what we wanted to do from the very first Food Car Friday that we decided to bring the audience in on the show. And it's been fun, man. It's been a lot of fun. So go check that out. Let me know in the comments section if you do the replay, what you thought of that episode. Let me know what you thought of this episode if you're watching the replay. And don't be an a-hole. Be an MMA-hole.
MyBookie.ag. MyBookie.ag. MyBookie.ag.
The second channel is called Gummy Gang. Gummy Gang. Or not the MMA holes. It should pop up. A GG is the... Actually, I think if you exclamation points... I don't know. I don't know if it's on the exclamation... who knows? Who cares? Anyway, just look up on YouTube, Gummy Gang.
AG, place your bets. Win big at MyBookie.ag.
I did see the beef. I spoke to one of the parties. You can guess what party I spoke to behind the scenes. And the other person is a pathological liar and a fat piece of garbage. And I'm glad that the truth is finally coming out, baby. So, yes, I did see that. Do not support that fat bastard. He is a legit scumbag.
Use promo code MMA-Holes at MyBookie.ag. Win big at MyBookie.ag. Tell them the MMA-Holes sent you. Place your bets, win big at MyBookie.ag. Use promo code MMA-Holes at MyBookie.ag. Win big at MyBookie.ag. Tell them the MMA-Holes sent you. Place your bets, win big at MyBookie.ag. Use promo code MMA-Holes at MyBookie.ag. Win big at MyBookie.ag.